What is the happiest thing that has happened to you in the past 24 hours? A colleague who I like very much came back from vacation and seemed genuinely happy to see me. It made my day smile. They must have felt the welcoming vibes from you. Got my lost dog back today, who is like a best friend for me. Must have been a roller coaster. Congrats and enjoy having your best buddy back. I taught my mom how to set up an email account, stream shows/movies, hook up a printer, and listen to music online over the phone, and it only took 5 hours. She did such a good job and was very patient the entire time. She's adorable and was really excited about all of it, so the 5 hours felt completely worth it to hear her so happy. Edit. It's so wholesome to see so many people that enjoy helping others in the replies. Good on you for being so patient and helping your mom. Great job. My grandma taught me how to make biscuits after 24 years of begging her to teach me. I made some today and they turned out like shit, but considering her recipe is some flour, just enough milk, and a bit of oil, I don't feel too bad. It's all about figuring it out. I'll try again tomorrow. I love that it took a quarter century of her to give in. My books for this semester were only $100. So cheap. I remember one book costing that much for me. When I first started school, it was $2K. I hit my goal for weight loss that I've had for the past year and 8 months. Congratulations on your new normal. Keep doing what you are doing and know that an internet stranger is proud of you for taking control of your own life. Plus, with that slow pace, your weight loss was probably gradual and healthy. Well done. My eclipse sunglasses were delivered yesterday, so I'm well prepared for the upcoming 2024 eclipse. I finished the second draft of my new novel, which means I'm officially all go to launch it in September after waiting what feels like forever. Oh my god, George R.R. Martin, you finally finished The Winds of Winter? My new puppy and his older brother were playing on top of me, licking me and jumping around the bed. I honestly haven't felt that much pure happiness in a long time. I was giggling like a little kid for 5 straight minutes. Found out my dad doesn't have cancer. Finally shat. Been constipated for 4 days due to a poor diet and stress at work. The agony and ecstasy was both brutal and amazing. Edit. Please stop telling me how to shit. I've already done it. Duck off with your recipes. Got approved for my graduate assistantship, which means my master's program is paid for. I baked a birthday cake for my neighbor and brought it to her. She's 94 today. That's wonderful of you, and she's really living a full life. That's amazing. I learned 2 of my classes this semester are using free textbooks. OpenStax FTW. Little late on this, but I got engaged to the love of my life during the eclipse. Weeks before, I kept telling her about the phases of the eclipse, including Bailey's beads and the diamond ring. Just before totality, I told her, now we have to watch really carefully or we might miss the diamond ring. But, just in case we do, I brought one with me. Smooth. Congratulations. My husband and I work for the same company, at a fairly large warehouse, which in turn needs a large pool of trainers to call upon. Said pool is also used as a source of supervisors, which continue on up the ladder. Yesterday, we were both interviewed for a handful of trainer spots, and the interviewer said we're among his top picks, out of a group of 75 candidates or so. We love our company, so it's such an honor and thrill to be considered. Also, today is my birthday. Edit. We both got it. We've already completed our advanced training, and now we're just waiting for our final pieces of assigned equipment to arrive in shipment, and then we will start training others. We also found out some of our friends got promoted in their departments too, so it's all around great. My husband offered to get me water when I was already laying down in bed last night. The little things. I have an 8-month-old daughter. She has 2 lower teeth. Over the past few days, she has greeted me every morning in tears. She has teething pain from an upper tooth that hasn't broken through the gum line yet. My wife and I do everything we can to ease her pain, but there is only so much you can do. Breaks my heart to collect my kid from her crib in the morning, knowing she's in even a small amount of pain. I never thought kissing away tears is something I'd ever do in my lifetime, but if it makes her happy, that's all that matters to me. This morning, I walk in her room and she's quiet. Just looking out the window. She sees me, smiles, and says, "Daddy, First time I've heard her say that word, and not DADA. My kid now has 2 upper teeth, both popped through. Today is a good day. I'm on a really hardcore diet after putting on a bunch of weight during a toxic relationship. It's been since April and it got more extreme when my fiancé cheated on me and left in June. I was wearing size 46 jeans and nothing would fit and I felt like shit about myself previous to starting. Last night I bought a pair of size 38 skinny jeans that would have fit me about 7 years ago and I look great. I also picked up a pair of Jordans to go with it. I got out to my car after the purchase and started crying of happiness. P.S. I have a date tonight, 3. I got LASIK after having glasses for 20 years. I can see. My son finally met his godfather after 7 years. His godfather has been battling breast cancer, it happens to dudes too, for years. A month or so ago he was declared cancer-free and this week he was cleared for everyday activities. He gave my son a huge hug and both were crying, so was I. Wonderful news. Awesome for your son and his godfather, best wishes. Thank you kindly. I finally went to the dentist after almost 4 years. My teeth were staying dull to shit and I was sure I had about 47 cavities floating around in there, so I put it off for far too long due to some combination of stupidity/naivete/fear/finances, but I went in there, filled out some paperwork, got the x-rays done, they blasted the stains and shit off my teeth, and found no cavities or problems. Somehow, I'm not afraid to smile anymore and feel better knowing my teeth aren't going to fall out. I love that tooth cleaning thing, had it done for the first time ever last year. I'm 30, and all the stains from when I was a smoker were gone in minutes. I always assumed they were permanent since brushing doesn't remove them. My 4-year-old son just decided he didn't want to swim with his float on any longer, and is now swimming with no assistance. I thought I had scared off a friend by telling her I loved her. She stopped responding to my messages. Yesterday we had our first normal interaction since me telling her I loved her. I get another chance to be her friend. Glad you took the risk, you won't look back and think what if. Super glad you are still friends. My boyfriend was having a tough day at work and I got him to laugh at a joke so much that he gave me a high five. He then told me he loves me, not the first time but every time he does it makes my heart happy. Finished law school. Celebrated it by having a tooth pulled. I interviewed an unemployed candidate for a job this morning and calling him 3 hours later to offer him the position was incredible. Pretty sure I made him the happiest man on earth. Oh my god, are you serious? I was, and he thoroughly deserved it. Edit. I must add that I love the theater of offering someone a position you know could be life-changing in some way for them. It happened to me once and I'll never forget the people who gave me the opportunity. It's easily the best part of the job and I always have an audience of other staff members present during the call so the joy is shared amongst us. I always knock the candidate down a little before offering them the position, just so the shock creates a greater reaction, and because I'm a bastard. Whilst it varies, it would typically be something like, compared to the other candidates we've seen you scored far under the required grade on the technical challenge, your CV/resume was below average and you were the only person this week to fail the logic puzzle. However you watch GOTS so I've made the executive decision to offer you a full-time role at the business. I ate a pint of Culver's custard by myself, and my boyfriend just smiled and said, "Never change, darling." So I've got that going for me. 18-month-old was doling out double high fives last night. Up top. Hesitation. Me, yeah. Tiny voice, yeah. Cute. Best wishes to your whole family. Me and my girlfriend of 3 years are finally planning to move in together. Big step, but sounds great. Good luck. Thanks man. I'm excited. For me, it was a girl I liked texting me first and saying good morning, have a nice day. Aw, you started this question just so you could tell this. That's adorable. I'd like to think Op was like this is great, I gotta get everyone together so I can tell them. My barbarian totally effed up a giant clam in Dungeons & Dragons. Nice roll. Never played but watched Stranger Things. Has to do with dice, right? It does indeed. And I actually had several nice rolls, so good call. I was able to pry the clam open and hold it for several turns, while stabbing it with my sword. Fun times were had. Won $5 in lottery. More than I've won lately. I got engaged. Shut up, bird. Haha yeah you stupid bird. Booked a trip to Hawaii for my 25th birthday. I finally got a mattress topper after living in my dorm for 2 weeks, and I have never had better sleep in my life. A friend of mine told me he has a couple of pictures of my cat, Sunshine, from before he was murdered in front of my eyes. I watched my neighbor speed up and go on the curb just to hit him. When I confronted him about, he laughed and said he didn't like the cat anyway. I cried for hours, but was so thankful that he found him. I lost every photo I had of him when my phone was destroyed shortly after. He was my service pet for PTSD and such an amazing friend. I still miss him and visit where he was buried. It's so hard to let him go. He was the outcast of the litter and left to die, until I found him with a ray of light shining on him, hence the name. I had him for 7 years and he was truly my best friend. But the pictures brought a little something back. I still have his collar next to my bed and now I can print some pictures out with it. Chris, if you are reading this, thank you. I owe you more than you can imagine. Found out my partner is not pregnant again. If you aren't trying for kids then there is no better sense of relief. I made a comment that got over 5,000 upvotes yesterday. It's the little victories. Amazing, I've never had more than 5. Lol. Today's your day off, I can feel it. My sister is clean for over a week and even though it's not long, it feels like I have her back and I've never seen her so hopeful for the future. Felt my daughter kick my back from my wife's belly as we were laying down to sleep. She's due in November and I couldn't be more filled with joy about it. Edit. This is my first time getting well wishes on Reddit and it made me feel really good. Thanks so much guys. I discovered a new shortcut to my local IKEA. Seriously. I wish you have many more. Always more to life equals. Had surgery yesterday and was expecting them to find a bunch of potentially cancerous polyps, based on symptoms I've been having. To my great relief, everything was clear. In his sleep last night, my husband turned to me and pulled me close to him, and kissed my hair. Gave a little happy sigh. I melted and went back to sleep. Birth of my son. A client asked for my name and information to send in compliments to my company about me. P.S. I work in the customer service sector. Ate a steak last night. Was only a cheap cut but goddamn I deserve it. My little gift to myself this week. I finally got my The Floor is Lava achievement in Overwatch, after having 500 hours of playtime. My wife and I made it to the big 15-3. My wife got a raise, which means I got half a raise. I'm going to do awesome things with that extra $0.30/hour. I made a leather collar for my cat. Wow, productive. Last night I had a very good conversation with my dog on what was going on in Bachelor in Paradise. Taylor is a bitch. Heard my baby's heartbeat. It's not the first time, but it's amazing every time. D. Love this comment, best wishes to you and your family. My GF got approval for much needed orthopedic surgery. Daydreaming about celebrating Christmas with my child that I was unable to have. It means a lot connecting any positivity with Christmas. Last Christmas was probably one of the worst and most stressful times of my life. I think I've won the battle over some depression. Smile. Edit, relapse NVM. My 15-year-old chocolate lab has to be put down today. My boyfriend told me, if it's any consolation, dogs don't have a sense of mortality. So Chip doesn't know she's dying. All of her waking moments are spent wanting to please you. She probably doesn't even realize she's awake less and less to do that now. So it's sad to us, but for her, she's still living the dream of getting to be with your family. Makes me happy that she doesn't know what's happening. My dad sent me one last picture of her today. I live away from home, and it proved what he told me true. We'll update later. I found out that I am infertile. The vasectomy took 95% on my first calculus exam. I'm 12 weeks pregnant today. We made it to safety. That sounds awesome. I'm sure it was a great bonding moment too. One of the leaders in my industry traveled across the country and observed my work yesterday and then complimented my performance, said I was doing everything perfectly. That was a good feeling. I was hugged. I bought a motorcycle last night. Got a career-furthering job. Woot. I saw a beautiful rainbow. Mum made rocky road. Proposes in marriage? Were you dating? It may seem silly, but I got to spend an entire day uninterrupted with my daughter. My son is almost 6 months old, and since I just had back surgery I am unable to lift or carry him, so while my husband was gone all day, school and then work, my in-laws were kind enough to babysit him at their home. My daughter just turned 3 and I haven't been able to spend much time with her since her brother was born. We spent hours outside coloring with chalk and playing with the dog, reading a bunch of books, practicing writing our names and a bunch of other things. She sat at the table across from me with her coloring book while I did some work on the computer. We cuddled up and shared popcorn and a movie. She helped me with every chore. I miss her like crazy, and while I am sad that I can't do much to care for my baby boy right now, I'm so happy that I got to have that quality time with my little girl. It passes by so quickly. My car broke down on the side of the road last night. While waiting for the tow truck I decided to actually pop the hood and take a peek, and I instantly saw a hose head come loose. Reconnected it, started the car, gave the tow truck driver $5 for his trouble when he arrived and happily drove away. When I woke up this morning, I realized that I was holding hands with my dog. I guess he snuggled up against me and in my sleep I held his hand. I finally met an older chick who already has her life together. No more dating young chicks. That shit gets old real quick. Orgasmed. My ex-wife called me to say she needed me to buy and drop off some diapers, so I got to play with my daughter for an hour on a weekday when I normally can't see her. I got an interview for an internship in a congressional office and I felt like I knocked it out of the park. Getting a response today or tomorrow. A guy I was into who I didn't even know was gay told me he is and he's into me. I literally cannot be happier right now. My abscess popped. Yay? Got a good night 3, from Crush. 3. I got my first adult job. Celebrating with cupcakes, steak, and video games. I'm an adult. My landlord got back from his vacation, and I managed to pay rent before spending the money on shit. Ran down the dunes at Sleeping Bear Park. Having not had time in our lives for a group activity for months, 3 of my friends and I all came together to play The Escapist 2. We were howling with laughter, and it felt good to be with the gang again. Not very big. But my 4-yo fell asleep on my chest last night. I know he's not going to be 3 forever, and it makes me appreciate these moments when I have days where he's testing boundaries and exploring limits like only a 4-yo can. I think you need sleep when you post that your 4-year-old won't be 3 forever. They grow up fast. The days are long but the years are short. Thanks for listening to another episode of Reddit X. Subscribe and activate the notification bell so you won't miss any stories. Feel free to share your own stories below in the comments. Have a good day.